Hey guys, welcome to Our Kiwi Garden. In Auckland, New Zealand for the past 75 years, it's not 75 years, but it feels like it. For the past maybe month, it's been really, really wet. So all of the garden is completely, I don't know, it's just really mushy. So whenever you walk on anything, all you can hear is squelch, squelch, squelch underfoot. And it means that we haven't been able to get out and do as much as we like. I'm like a fair weather gardener, in that, like, I like weather and I like the fact that we get, you know, a lot of natural rain and things like that, because it makes just taking care of a garden easier. But I'm so not coming out here when it's raining. I'm also struggling today because it's really humid and I'm not really built for humid conditions. I thought I would pop out today and show you what's going on in the vegetable garden. We can have a look at the rescue plants and yeah, take advantage of this fine day to put together a little bit of something to give you guys an update. Also in our Kiwi garden today we have Tom. He's over that way, I'll show you in a minute. Tom's building some Christmas presents for our family. So this year we've decided to make, not buy. Again, he's having a real cool creative time. So I'll show you what they all look like maybe when he's done. Not to give the secret away to anybody, family who might be watching. But yeah, I'll turn you around and show you what we're looking at here. This is our Kiwi deck with a Kiwi child. Who has decided he needs his sunglasses on. But yeah, we've had heaps of rain, and if you saw the short that I did where I cleaned up this garden here and had it all mulched and nicely edged, it promptly rained and we've got washout happening. So yeah, the edges need a bit more love. I was going to come out today and whip a snipper, but I decided not to. You can see loads of washout, which is the rain has just absolutely barreled down this path here and washed things away. So yeah, it has been that heavy. Here's a beautiful David Austin Boscobel rose. It smells like fruit salad. I love it. It's gorgeous. We've got some hydrangeas here. These are Sublime. No, Goldie. These are Goldie hydrangeas. You can see they're not chlorotic. This is actually the colour of the foliage. It's kind of like a yellow Goldie tinge on the edges with these beautiful pink blooms that stay true colour irrespective of the pH of the soil. But anyway, this wasn't really about the other stuff. It was about the squelch. Don't know if you can hear that. But here are the vegetable gardens. So we have here, these are the potatoes. I have come in and I've stolen some of these potatoes already. Just ferreted around in the bottom and got some really beautiful spuds. We've got a courgette here which is loving its life. We're eating and eating and eating them. They are doing really well. This one here was, I don't know, the size of a small pencil yesterday, but rain and heat overnight, that's what's happened. We've got some spinach here that has bolted, and this is one of my tomatoes. This is a Aunt Ruby's German green. And I haven't done any pruning to it, with the exception of keeping airflow around the bottom, because I want to try and, as we sort of talked about in previous videos, I want to see if I'm going to get a better tomato yield by not pruning. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. I've got loads of tomatoes on there. I've got probably a bit of blossom end rot happening, but I've also got some pretty lovely big fat tomatoes. Did I call them strawberries before? Clearly they're tomatoes. We've got some radishes in here. They are not daikon, they are another tonkashi, I think, which Tom has been eating on. I've got some, oh, it's bolted here. Here is a marmite kitty. And I've got in here some silver beet, which Tom keeps eating and cutting back, which is pretty cool. It's cut and come again. And I've got a broccoli in here. So I've got some snow peas growing up the side of this as well, somewhere in here, and we've got some lovely coriander that has bolted, and we'll leave it just so it self-seeds itself. So it looks a bit of a mess, but it's a productive mess. It's pretty cool. Here is one of the tomato ones we planted in the tomato video. This is a black black cherry. Yeah, this one here is a black cherry tomato, and we've got loads of little tomatoes all over it, so I've been keeping it fed and trying to keep it tied up. Here is Tom's kale patch, looking pretty good. We've got broccoli here, tender stems that's bolted, and I have some broccoli flower in here that is looking like we can actually harvest it. I've got beans that I planted in the bean video, and we've got beans in here ready to pick. This is one of the tomatoes from the rescue section, and yeah, we've got beautiful little tomatoes in here. Got some weird black things there, insects, so I'm going to come out and probably squish them with my fingers. And we've got some spring onion and some bok choy in here. This one here I've got, you'll see just this one here. This is a lateral that I did pinch off, and I shoved it in the ground, and it's starting to do pretty well. We have been eating off this dewdrop tomato, which is cool. So Tom has been picking those ones there. This is the dahlia patch. Information for a video for another day. And in here, this is the new raised beds we put in to build up when we put dahlias in. So this is a butternut squash, you can see in here, and it's doing really well. It's starting to run, which is cool. Here is a watermelon, and we've got corn, and that is sitting in here, and a bit of an anemic looking buttercup. It sat in its pot for too long. And over here, this was the new square foot beds we put in. They are doing really well. Everything here is kind of really healthy and loving its life. This is Tom's chili bed. And as you can see, he's got quite a few chilies on here. He's been picking off the fire and the Hungarian hot wax. They're pretty mild, I think, comparatively to some of the other ones we've got in here. But everything here is going really well. We have fed them once since we planted them, and that's just because they are raised beds, and this is getting absolutely nailed with water, so we're figuring we've got to replenish the soil just a little bit in terms of nutrients. Over here we have more radishes. These were Tom's ones from the seed challenge. So we've got icicle white in there, and I've got 2 cucumber plants here. They are starting to vine, and I think if you just look over to the side there, maybe I'll take you around, just here, we've got some cucumbers that are ready to pick. I love homegrown ones. They're just slightly sweeter than I think maybe the store-bought ones are. Here we have a brandywine pink tomato. Again, I haven't trimmed it apart from to keep the airflow around the bottom. And we're getting lots of really great fruit set. Loads and loads in there are ready to grow. I've got some newly planted gherkins, struggling a bit with all the rain. A lovely head of broccoli here. And this is a yellow zucchini, yellow courgette. We've got a couple on there. See if I can get it and show you. There we go, we've got a couple of little ones just beginning in there. So we'll see how they go. They'll probably start to ripen and fruit prolifically while we're away. This is the back bed. I haven't opened this up for more sun, which I really need to, but the onions in the back are going well, and the silver beet in the front is actually doing really nicely. I'm really quite happy with the decision to plant them there. Got potatoes here starting to get berries, so as soon as they die down we'll be able to get ourselves some potatoes, and all the way along the back there the potatoes are looking really quite good. Here we have another one of the rescue tomatoes. Honestly, it's looking a tad sad, but it is starting to fruit. I feel like this one I planted it really deep, and because I've planted it so deep, it's possibly getting drowned on the bottom because it's not necessarily drainage that goes right away. So I feel like it might be sitting in a bit much water, but it's struggling along, doing its thing. We have another zucchini here, which is another green one, I think. Snow peas, which we are picking, which is awesome. And a good old moneymaker tomato. Again, at the risk of sounding like a broken record, I have not pruned the laterals here. So we're getting really great trusses of fruit here for something that is probably getting a bit more shade than ideally it would like. It's doing really well. Look at all of those tomatoes in there. And looking at the bottom, there's no sign of blossom end rot, which is I'm really quite stoked with. We've got the tequila capsicum in here. So this was one of the 2 rescues that we got back on the rescue plant video. So we have some tequila capsicums coming along. I need to get out here with some maybe, I don't know, neem or something, just to get some of these little white flies and stuff away. And we've got some flowers and some little baby candy cane capsicum. So these were the ones that were $3 marked down from, I don't know, like $9.95 or something. So clearly that tiny bit of slug damage did sweet FA to the life of the plant. In here we've got beetroot. So Tom has been picking on these and harvesting. One in there ready to go. Great in a nice raw salad. And a really pretty, again, Brocco flower. My first sort of success with growing these type of brassicas. In here I've got some beans and a scalopini that Finn grew. It's struggling. Its stem has been slightly eaten, so I've buried it and we'll just see what comes back. We just kind of got to leave it alone, let it do its thing, I think. We've got some raspberry popcorn over here and the kumara bed. They suffered big time when I put them out because they'd been inside. I hadn't hardened them off properly and they looked a bit. So as you can see, as I mentioned, really not built for humid weather, and it's incredibly sticky. So I'm a bit more, my hair's a bit wetter than it was when I started. So yeah, that's a brief tour of the veggie garden as it stands at the moment. Really looking forward to getting, you know, more sun and more heat consistently. We really could do without the rain that is coming. I can see it because everything is just so wet and too much damp, too much wet, and then humidity straight after that with a bit of sun is not great for keeping all the fungal diseases and things like that down. So yeah, this is just a different year of gardening. I'm really stoked with what we've been able to get out of it so far. It's really awesome to see Tom come down and pick, and you know, for us to come down and grab some snow peas for our dinner, you know, dig up some of the little potatoes that are there, and then the courgettes, and everything is just coming along. So I really do feel like we're starting to do what we wanted to do, which was grow the things that we are eating. They've been growing and now we're eating them. So yeah, that's where I am at the moment in Auckland, New Zealand. Humid AF at the moment and really kind of not enjoyable to be outside, but I guess, you know, we'll have Christmas and then it will hopefully get into a bit more of a settled weather pattern, and it might be a bit more comfortable to spend time out here as a family and not go inside covered in mud and itchy bites. So wherever you are, I hope you're having an awesome day, and the lead up to Christmas holidays or whatever you celebrate at this time of year is going well for you and your family. It's busy for us, but we're getting through it, and I think I might go inside and stand in front of the fan for a bit. Bye guys.